Hi folks, so today I'm going to show you how to make this wicking bed. Let me first explain what a wicking bed is. So you see this container and these holes in the bottom. So the area below these holes is acting like a water reservoir, and I have some kind of a barrier here which is basically a piece of cloth, and above this is where I have the grow media, which is coco peat and vermicompost, etc. Now you see this PVC pipe over here. That connects to the reservoir. So I fill water in the reservoir through this pipe, and once the water reservoir is full, the water will start leaking through these holes and you can stop watering. Water is wicked up, through wicking action, and that's how the plants take up the nutrition. So let me show you how to make this. To make one of these wicking beds, we need a container of sorts like this, which is about a feet and more in length. We need a piece of cloth, a hacksaw blade, and a drill gun, a pair of scissors, a knife, and I've been collecting this lot of soft drink bottles, so that's going to come handy. I'm using a 2-inch PVC pipe, a lot of vermicompost, and of different grades with uh, coco peat. So let's start making this. To start making this, let's take this container and measure close to 1 feet on top, and at least 5 inch in the bottom. If I according to this container, if I use about 5 inch of reservoir space in the bottom, it should work. So what I'm going to do is just measure 5 inch from the bottom and start drilling holes. And I'm using a 19 mm drill gun, and just make a series of holes on all sides. Now what happens with this hole is that acts like the drain, and so that the water, when it rains or doesn't get, the container doesn't get flooded, and the water will leak out from this holes. Once we're done with the making of the hole, we need to now take the PVC pipe and cut it to length, which is the same height as the container. Once we have the PVC pipe cut, we need to drill some holes in the bottom. This is to make sure the water flows very smoothly. So I'm just drilling a series of holes all over. There's no real number to this. You can just drill as many holes as possible so the water flows very easily. Now we move on to making the reservoir area. Take this old Pepsi bottles and cola bottles, that is soft drink bottles I've been collecting, and I'm going to cut them to the same size height as where the hole is from the bottom of the container. So it's about 5 inch, and we just cut the bottom of the bottle and measure 5 inch and cut the top as well. Now once you cut this cut, what we need to do is we need to make a small notch in the bottom, kind of a V-shaped notch, which is easily doable with a pair of scissors. So it should look something like this. This will help the water flow easily, in the reservoir. So now we just need to repeat this process and cut all the remaining bottles. Once all the bottles are cut, the bottles go through a thorough wash. That really helps take out all the labels or any sediment that's there in that. Now we start placing the bottle with the V-shape notch facing down like this. So let's arrange all the bottles. Once we have all the bottles arranged and it's completely set, now we can take the PVC pipe and place that in extreme one of the corners. Make sure that the holes that you drill, that is at the bottom. Now we're going to take the piece of cloth. I just cut it to the exact shape of this container, and just place it on top of the bottles. So now this is the barrier. Now all the soil media that is going to be on top of this coco peat and all that will not go down and block the reservoir area. So that's the idea of this cloth. Once the cloth is placed and secure, we move on to getting the coco peat ready. So I've got this block of coco peat. Now this is like a 5 kilo block which expands to around 25 kilos. So that should suffice this container. So I'm just going to water this coco peat and completely bring it to its normal stage, and kids are always happy to help. So now I'm just going to layer the bottommost area with the coco peat just above the cloth. So just at least a few inches of coco peat, and on top of this I'm going to be adding coco peat that has been mixed with a few varieties of vermicompost. I've got couple of packets of potting soil, couple of vermicompost from different growers and different grades. So I'm just mixing all of them up, and some neem pellets. So mix all this up thoroughly into the coco peat, and we just start filling up the remaining at least another 4 inches with this mixture. So I'm planning to use this first new wicking bed to harvest potatoes. So once I fill the container almost halfway through, I've taken these potatoes that have got this little eye popping out. They're almost sprouting. So some of the large ones, I'm just going to cut it and try and place them evenly. So I think around 9 potatoes I can place in this. So let me just position them properly. And once that is done, we are just going to fill this whole thing with the remaining mixture of coco peat and vermicompost. And lastly, top it off with one layer of just plain coco peat. So this wicking bed is now ready. We just need to water it. So for the first time, I'm going to water it from the top and pretty generously, kind of wet the whole surface. And the remaining, I'm going to fill through this PVC pipe. And that's going to take some time because it's going to fill up close to 10-20 liters of water in the bottom. So now once you see the water coming out of this hole, you realize that the reservoir is full, and now you can stop watering. So that's how this wicking bed has been made. So let me know your comments and suggestions. If you have any, pop them below and I'll get back to you as and when I can. So that's my wicking bed. Thanks for watching, guys.